Hey, good morning. Good morning, Realtor Avery.
Good morning, Aranda Koychuk.
Happy Thanksgiving.
It's very exciting, isn't it? Like
It is.
It's when it's so late in the month, it I don't know, it just feels weird, like it's like it feels like it should have been last week, but it's tomorrow.
This is I think is this the latest it could possibly be on the 27th of November?
Probably.
Is that the latest pot? Like, is that how it works
That's
out?
too technical.
It's pretty late. Yeah, I used to be really sensitive to when Thanksgiving fell because we would have said, in retail, we'd say, gosh, our holiday got shortened by a week this year.
Exactly. Yes.
So, yeah. But
yeah.
Anyway, and, getting ready for the show, we were like, well, what do we had different ideas, things we were going to talk about. And then I said, well, wait a minute. What are we thankful for? Right? Like, honestly, it's kind of a no brainer for today. So yes. I would kind of put that out there to our audience, write in the chat, write in the comments, who do you want to send a thank you card to? Who are you thankful for? How often do you send a thank you card to somebody? It doesn't have to be just on Thanksgiving.
No, I sent a thank you card. I don't know if you're aware, Chuck, but my birthday was last month.
So tell me more.
So I got a thoughtful gift from a friend of mine, and and I love it, right? But what was even better than the gift was the card that she sent with it, and what she wrote in the card about how she thought of me. And when she saw this item, she knew it was perfect. And she went into why this item spoke to her about me. And so when I sent her the thank you note, I told her that. I said, I love the gift. Thank you. Love it. Practical, pretty, it's a pair of gloves with really fancy, sparkly trim. But it was the way that you talked about me, it made me feel so good. It made me feel so good about our friendship. And that card was I'm going to tear up. The card was so meaningful. And so that, and I was excited to write her a thank you card and to tell her how meaningful that sentiment was.
That is such a great story. And it goes to the idea of the importance of doing things IRL, right? In real life. You see something and it makes you it jogs your memory. It makes you think of this. And it's like, well, how much more would it take just to do something really nice in real life for that person? And you get these reactions, and that's amazing. I mean, no, that's awesome. That's upper level. That's varsity level.
Thank you.
What I'm talking about.
Thank
by
you.
your friend.
Yes, she. Oh,
by your friend. I mean,
All right. Anyway, I think that, and it comes to like many of us, we the idea of a gratitude journal, right? The idea of at the end of the day, what are 3 things that you are grateful for, and it's but thankful, grateful, those are great. Like we meet, once a week as a leadership team in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And when we meet in person, Matthew Whitehead, he will start the meeting and we have to go around the room and share a gratitude. It probably takes 10 minutes, right? It's not like boom, boom, boom. But it's worth it because the gratitudes that we share, it puts you in a great mood. We sometimes will pick up on things from other people. Um, and so I will say when I was thinking about what am I thankful for this year, I'm really thankful for our leadership team at Howard Hanna. The people that I report to, Matthew Whitehead, Lou and Kathy in your area, Matt Rand at the state, and the Hanna family who owns and runs the company. It's been a tough year in real estate. And I am so thankful that our leadership team has done what they've done during all the changes. And it's been great, I think. So I'm very thankful for the leadership in our company.
I agree. I think we've had tremendous guidance throughout this. There has been a tremendous amount of change. I think one of the biggest, I really like how when Joe Rand uh, did some training sessions. I think it was back in maybe February, March, or April, and it was buyer expert certification or something. And he
Yes.
talked about the history of buyer agency, and put that all in a story, and how we're definitely like this was a big jump in maturity in the history of buyer agency, and I'm for one, I'm excited about it. I think it's fantastic. Um, and along those lines, I'm thankful that we have some resolution that just yesterday the department of, we got acceptance from the judge on the case, or at least the settlement, I should say. The settlement has been accepted. So we have a higher level of certainty in that regard, and so I'm thankful for that. But I'm
Yes.
definitely absolutely thankful for our leadership team, as you mentioned. And I was and thinking about this before coming on, I was thinking, and you might laugh, but I'm just thankful for our leadership team for letting me be me. Because this is with me, this is what you get, right? Like, and I sometimes I think certainly I'm a rules follower, but I like to get out of the box a little bit. So I appreciate that they give me some latitude and
Mhm.
support me and the show and you and us doing this for our audience and for our local area and realtors, or anyone who wants to follow. I think that's great. They could have said,
Yes.
Chuck, we have a better use for your time. on, well, if you need something to do, come see us. We got something better. But no, they're like, you know what? That's your jam. That's your vibe. You guys keep going, and I think that's great. So thanks,
Yes.
leadership team.
I agree. All right. I wrote down a few, but I think we should go back and forth. So what's something that you are thankful for?
Well, all right, I'm going to take this one right out of the gate. I'm thankful for our audience. If you're watching this show, if you've interacted, if you message, I can think of some names like in my office, Carolyn and Denise and Bill, they watch a lot. Think of some from some other audiences, Gina and her team in Lewiston is fantastic. Melissa and her office down in Honeyway Mendon Falls, they'll often do an office watch. So I'm thankful for an audience, right? I mean, that maybe that's a question. If we didn't have, would we still do this if we didn't have an audience?
No.
Probably would.
No, we would just call each other. I mean, we'd
But
still talk for half an
yeah,
hour every week. We
right,
just
maybe,
we wouldn't record it.
yeah, maybe. But there you go. I'm thankful for our audience. No matter who you are, no matter where you are.
Yes.
That was
Totally
kind of a
agree.
lay down. So you get you're next.
All right. I am thankful for friendship. And that includes you, Chuck.
Aw.
I real estate is a business where I believe if you're doing it right, it's a relationship business. It's not transactional, right? So when you're in a relationship business, you are making friends all the time. You're making friends with your clients, you're making friends with other agents. And our company, we very much encourage collaboration, right? Collaboration between you and I, office leaders, agents. So friendship to me is so important, and I really enjoy that aspect of our business. Yes, it's a business where the agents are independent contractors. They're self-employed. They're going out there trying to do as much business as they can. And yet we cooperate with each other to get the deals done, right? Like, at the end of the day, if you're buying and I'm selling, you want keys, I want the cash, right? Bottom line, you want the keys, I want the cash. The realtors help make that happen on the closing day. And the more we work together, the better that process can be. So friendship, I think, is important. And friendship, we all grow. I forgot to tell you last week, I think it was the week before, I went to Eli Fish.
Aw.
And I never would have gone there if it wasn't for our friendship and you talking about you and your family going to Eli Fish and how great it is. And I went with my cousin. We had a great time. It's huge. I had no
Yeah.
idea how big it was.
Big.
Food was good.
Yep.
Their Oktoberfest beer was very good.
So good. So
Yep.
good. Yeah. Yeah, they're great. They
So
that
friendship.
was a big conversion. That used to be that was like an old downtown department store like you would used to have,
Like a
way
Woolworth?
back. Like, yeah, like a Woolworth, right.
Okay.
And it had been vacant for a long time, and they Maddie and his team acquired the building and did a big renovation and brought something, made a space that was empty and not being well used, back, and brought it back. And above the restaurant, there's apartments. There's very nice, high, high market rate level apartments, that are all occupied, and help bringing people downtown. It's really fantastic.
That's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool. And it was fun. So when you have friendships, you learn about things, you get, told about new places to try. So thank you for sharing that.
awesome. Okay. I'm thankful for my office assistant, Kristen. I give a shout out to Kristen. Her birthday is coming up if anybody wants to know. But when I was thinking about working with Kristen in the office, and just how I feel like I can accomplish so much more when I have an assistant, especially a fantastic assistant like Kristen, to work on things together. I just feel like like it's literally a feeling, like I don't dread coming into the office. Like I've got so much, blah, blah, blah. It like literally feels like I can do it now. It feels like I can, we feel supported, and we just feel like we can accomplish so much more, which is exciting, right?
Mhm.
Which is probably one of the things I love about this job. So I'm thankful for that. Thankful for Kristen and the rest of our admin team, not just Kristen, but like we have a group of offices that our admins are our little a micro team within our macro team, I would say. And
Mhm.
they're all great, and when we need help here, someone isn't there, we're covering each other, and it's great. So I'm
That's
thankful for
awesome.
that. Awesome. What else, Lisa?
So
Thankful and Thanksgiving 2024.
I am thankful for learning.
Okay.
I think this past year, right? I feel like I learned a lot this past year, right? Now,
Mm,
sometimes you feel like, "Oh my god, I learned so much," right? Whatever doesn't kill you make you stronger, and it's like, I'm done learning
yeah.
that stuff. I don't mean that. I mean, I really feel like my brain grew this past year, like
Mm,
learning practical things, that we can do. Even, again, silly things like you and we switched to a new platform, and that took some learning, right? Um, Even using that Copilot. I've been using Copilot more and more for different things, and it's worked out really well. Um, I that front door app, learning that, like, to me that was huge. I've got something new on my list. Two different apps I'm going to check out, and we can talk about this afterwards as far as a note taking or a follow up. I had an experience actually through my Rotary district using Fathom, which is something that can listen in to your Zoom meetings and make up to-do list and
mm,
responsibility list based on what was said and who said what. And then when I mentioned it to someone, they gave me the name of another app, maybe Otter or something, I think. I don't know. I've got to
mm,
find out more. So that's next on my list. So I'm excited that, I've said before, if technology is going to be in our lives, I'm making it earn its keep. It's gonna be working for me, right? Like,
Okay.
we already know, you and I can talk about, "Hey, I need to get a new ring light," right? So you and I talked about it before the show. We've been talking about ring lights. I know my feed is gonna start popping with ring lights. Um, so if it's already working, now I want it to do more for me. So that I'm excited to learn that. So and just to have a learning mindset, you know? I think it's good. So I'm thankful for all
Absolutely.
the learning.
Okay. It can be a little infectious, you know. I have a little bit, not just shiny object syndrome, but I get like um shiny, I don't know, learning syndrome, right? Like like the new thing that I got to go learn. Oh, I got to go learn that. Oh, I got to go learn that. No, I got to, that can be a challenge. Um,
Yes, because
but
it's learning and then utilizing.
right. No, that's right. It is. And I'm really excited. Like, and you're talking about Microsoft Copilot. I as well. I'm using it more and more. Um, I believe that when we do, I had a meeting yesterday with Microsoft Teams, and I believe when you record those, you can also have Copilot summarize your meeting. So
Okay, cool.
so that's
All right,
another
then
way.
I'm
So
gonna
try
look
it out.
into I'm
Yeah, check
actually
that out.
taking a note because the more, that we can coordinate or work together and I don't need to learn another tool or download another
Mhm.
product. If Teams can do this for me, then I am writing it down.
Yep. Um, awesome. So we had our customer appreciation event last Saturday where we call it our Pie Day, and we send cards out to our communities and invite people who we want to say thank you to with a delicious pie from Special Touch Bakery here in Rochester. And and someone uh one of our customers, came on Monday to pick up her pie. I forget what happened on Saturday. She couldn't come. She came on Monday, and I don't remember how I got into the conversation, but long story short, I got 84 bottles of wine out of this exchange.
That's a
So
pretty good deal for
I'm
you.
think I'm well no, but like so we're gonna use those for when we need baskets for Children's Free Care Fund for stuff and like legit like she came in and I don't even know how I got on the conversation. Like I don't even know, but it came out that she, is a, sales rep or distributor. I think she's a sales rep representing distributors. And I thought, well, maybe was with what's it called? Southern Global or the big distributor here in Rochester, but she's not. She's with a smaller one. And I don't know if I just made an outright ask, like, hey, if you got a blah blah blah, like a couple, like thinking like a bottle or two, right? Like,
Yeah.
she's all of a sudden her eyes lit up, like like she's like, oh my gosh. She goes, I have so much in my garage at home. I have so much. Can I bring it? Can I said, yeah, whatever. She's whatever. Okay. She goes, I think
Yeah.
I've got blah blah blah. Like, and I go, oh man, that's a lot. Okay, well, we'll see. The next day, she shows up. She's like, "Are you sure you want all this?" She's like, "I got 7 cases."
Wow.
And there's Chardonnays, there's Malbecs, there's Pinots, there's, whatever, all sorts of variety of stuff. And
That's
and
awesome.
the thing is and as thankful as I am, and this is what the point of my story is, as thankful as I am for now that like, and I want to say thank you to our customer for support for bringing it in.
Yes.
However, you literally should have seen her eyes light up when I solved a problem for her, right? It was a problem having all these extra bottles because in her shop and that she needed to get rid of at her house. And maybe next year she'll have another one. Maybe I've made a new outlet for her so she doesn't have this problem anymore, because we certainly can put like, I could do a whole wheelbarrow of wines for like a nice
Yes.
big giveaway to raise money for Children's Free Care Fund.
Yep.
I I mean, I couldn't believe it. Yesterday,
Well,
7 cases are downstairs,
Derby Day party, beginning of May. You can
right?
load up, make a cute little something for that party, every
Yes.
party, right?
So I'm thankful for our customers and just how generous and giving they are. And and when you say thank you to somebody, they might have a way to say thank you back, and you give each other this chance to share gratitude, and that's awesome. I
And
love it.
again, it's that connection, it's that relationship, right? It's the
Exactly.
fact that you're talking about our children's free care fund.
Right.
She's talking about the fact that she has some stuff to give away, but she doesn't know what to do with it. And you make that connection, that relationship that says,
Yeah.
hey, you've got something to give, we've got a need, and through that, we're gonna change somebody's life, right? Like, it's
Exactly.
amazing. That conversation is ultimately going to improve the quality of life for someone.
Yes. Yes. That's
That's
well
pretty
said.
cool.
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay, you're next,
Oh,
I think.
okay. All right. Well, listen, I'm thankful for our partnership with First Priority Mortgage. I mean, I really am. Like, I'm just glad that we have such a strong team, and that we can provide great services for our clients. Um, that I don't know if I need to say anything else. And I'm really glad, especially how we're growing First Priority in Rochester. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's, yes, I agree. I agree. And, because, we used to have a phrase like they're like our cousins in the mortgage business, right? Our cousins. And so I started saying that all the time, like, well, our cousins at the mortgage company. And we were at some event. And so in my office, I used to have two cousins, Ken and Sean, and Ken retired. So I still had my cousin Sean working here. And we were at some event, and Hattie Hannah was like, I didn't know he was your cousin. I was like, well, he's not really my cousin. He's my mortgage cousin. He's like, oh,
Well,
but
and to that story, what's funny about that to me when I hear that story, I can completely see Hadi saying that, and and it kind of shows how he keeps track of who is who.
right,
I mean,
right.
which is amazing in a brokerage of this size, right?
Yes, yes. That he knows, oh, Lisa Avery has a cousin who works
Right.
for First Priority. Isn't that something?
Yeah. So,
But yes, but they are truly, and again, it's like, I think about it too, like it's a cousin relationship, right? Like, hey, cousin, where's my commitment? Hey, cousin,
mhm.
I've got the paperwork. Can you meet me to pick it up? It's a much tighter bond than, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So I still say that. I still say, hey, you're my cousin in the mortgage business.
Okay. I like it. I might steal it. Might have to start calling Christy and Jonathan and Steve and everybody, Emily and everybody on the team here in
Yeah,
Rochester.
our
Well,
cousins.
welcome, my cousins. We're having a family reunion on Tuesday at 11 o'clock. My next business meeting.
Perfect. I love it. I love it.
So awesome. Okay. Right on.
All right, I'm
Very good.
looking. Gina's saying happy Thanksgiving. I was looking to see if we had any more comments of what people are thankful for in there.
Mm,
Um, but I think it's just, it is the time to give thanks at the end of the
yep.
year. I'm thankful. I had some interesting conversations. I know Chuck. For people who don't know, I have a title of being whatever with Hannah Luxury Program. So I get a lot of phone calls throughout the state, excluding, Rand and Coach, about Hannah Luxury. When people have questions, like, they tend to come to me to answer them. So I had a really fun phone call or a Zoom call with a manager and an agent from another office, and we were talking about some marketing and talking about things that they could do with the program. And I said, what we should do is we should take a cue from, like, Spotify, the end of the year playlist. Like, what were, your favorite sales of the year, right? Like, and so I'm thankful for all the families that we've helped over the year and all the agents who have been a part of it. And we were talking about Hannah Luxury, right? And the agent said, well, saying that she sold a house, $100,000 double. I said, you should be extremely thankful for that. I said, if that was someone's first investment property in real estate and you were there to help them, like, they're changing their life, right? Like, we talk about growing wealth through real estate, and to be there when someone buys their first investment property, like in 20 years, who knows where this person will be and who knows what their real estate portfolio will look like. But in 2024, they spent $100,000 on their first investment property. That's pretty cool. That should go in your Howard Hanna Spotify top properties of 2024. So,
They might have only spent 10,000, and they might have financed 90, and they might have signed up for a monthly payment of around $800 or $900 a month that will
uh-huh.
literally change the rest of their life.
And they're
Build
renting out the other unit for 1,500. They're making
building
money every
wealth,
day.
right?
Yep.
It's absolutely right.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm thankful again for the opportunity
Mhm.
to, talk about things like that. And I encourage everybody, do a Spotify style top 5 sales of the year. What were your
Okay.
top 5 sales?
Ooh.
And tell us why, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe it was because the seller was whatever. The buyer was a first-time buyer, you
Mhm.
know. We just had one close in the office and the target date they were trying to close a month before the baby was coming, right? Like that's always exciting. Like, we're getting a new house, we're moving in, the baby's like it's exciting.
Mhm. So, and what one of the things I'm thankful for is in 2024 how easy I don't want to say how easy, because this we've been through our growing pains on this platform and how we broadcast and how we record, and we've made plenty of mistakes, and but I'm gonna say, like, I love how we don't have $100,000 invested into doing this. Like, you can literally you sign up. This platform is called StreamYard, and they have a free thing. We use a little level up from the free. We don't use the free one. But one of the things I always think about, and one of the reasons I like continuing to do this week after week, is our hope is that you guys can see how easy it is to do and that you do it, right? Like, that's one of our hopes and dreams as leaders is one of the reasons we're doing it is to hoping that someone else says, well, maybe I can do that.
Mhm.
And that exact like what you're talking about is a piece of content. What are your top 5 things that sales for the year that you're most proud of that you want to talk about, you want to share? I think that'd be an awesome, awesome video, a real nice piece of content to make. So if
Yes.
anybody, we use StreamYard for our platform. There's other options, but if anybody has any questions about it or wants any help with it, certainly reach out to us, and we can help you out.
Yeah. And I like that too because I will sometimes say that, we'll be talking about things and I'm like, "Well, I know doing videos is hard and it's, uncomfortable." And I'll get someone saying, "Oh, not for you. You do it all the time." Like, and I'm like, "Yeah, and you don't think I'm uncomfortable every week? You don't think I'm not nervous?" I dreamt about it last night and I dreamt about screwing up. And so if that doesn't show, it's not natural. But but w
Well,
what's difficult helps us grow.
right. Well, it's about being vulnerable, right? When you put yourself
Yes.
and one of the reasons we do it live is because it's go time. Like other when remember when we were doing shows, we were trying to record them and how long it took to get a show done because we were done with the show and we're like, well, I don't know, was that any good? Could we do better? Yeah, we could do better. Let's do it because we're kind of perfectionists. Let's do it again. And we finally figured out, we said we can't keep doing that. So we just have to go on and whatever we say, it has to be good enough.
Yes.
So our audience, I'd ask, hopefully it's good enough. So I think so, right? If they're still watching. Um,
Right, right. We
but
hope
yeah,
so.
but you don't have to be perfect, and practice makes better is one of my favorite phrases. And I was thinking about this a little bit, how we had if we had Alicia from our new education director as our guest last week, and we recorded that show. We had to record that show a day ahead because of our schedules. Um, and if you remember when we used to do the recording show, and Holly was on, our producer, and we needed her to kind of guide us through, and and it would often take a couple recordings, and we did that show with Alicia last week in one recording, one just and when we were done. And partly because we have done it like enough where we know the vibe that we want, and
Mhm.
we're comfortable now doing that. And so everybody else who's thinking about doing it, you will get better, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? Even on your first day, you're good enough,
Yeah.
and that's all you got to be. So I hope
You'll
somebody
get
does it. If you're gonna
right.
do it, I want you to let us know. Send us either you could comment, or if you want, you could private message us, or call us. We're realtors. We put our name and number out everywhere. So
Right. And if
reach
you
out.
wanna practice,
Oh yeah,
be a guest. You know,
oh my God, that's a great
and
idea,
we'll go with you, right? Like,
right?
if you wanna be a guest on the Western New York Real Estate Show with Chuck and Lisa,
That's amazing idea.
yeah, because we like having guests, right? I do.
Yeah,
So
for
be a
yes,
guest, and that will make it easier when you're a host.
I love it. I
That's how
love
we
it.
both got started, right? If you think about it, as
Right,
we've grown through this process over the last few years, we were both behind the scenes and then gradually things
right.
shifted and then gradually we just started doing what we wanted to do.
They let us be us, right? Like,
Yep.
well, there's whatever.
Yes.
That's so funny. Sometimes we're like, you're like, I feel like they feel like they want to say something, but they're like, I don't know.
We're not hurting anybody.
No, we're not. No. All right. All
All
right. I
right.
love it. All
Well,
right.
I'm
Happy.
very excited. I'm thankful that I am going to my friend's house tomorrow. I'm thankful
Mhm.
that I have grown children who live not in the same city as me, and we will all be together and my daughter in law together on Friday. So I am really, really thankful. I will be with my sister and her family tomorrow. So it's going to be a very good few days. I'm going to be with a friend I've had since my summer camp days going to Maine, and I will be with her on Saturday. And so it is going to be, and maybe that's why, especially friendship is on my mind because it's starting that time of year where you see a lot of friends and family and get together and it's just a wonderful wonderful time of year. Whether whatever holiday you celebrate or don't celebrate, the connections this time of year, the emphasis on getting together, breaking bread, having a meal. It's such a wonderful, loving time of the year.
100%. Final thought. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Cheers.